right, so we're gonna start this, I would say, sequence of, like I said, dynamic warm-ups, mobility flow, movement hygiene, whatever you wanna call it, that you can do daily, should do daily. We're gonna start with a cat-cow one. Now, like, I'm not gonna spend the full amount of time doing this because you guys have probably heard, or heard of this before, and I'm gonna do the fast one. So this is where I kind of roll my spine up and then bring it back down into extension. But the way that we love to do it, it's more of a functional range conditioning way, which is to do it very, very slowly. And imagine if somebody was actually, now I'm extended right here, and then every single vertebrae on my spine, somebody touched it and said, hey, push my finger away. And I would push one vertebrae up, and then the second one, the third one, and like one at a time. Now, for many of you, this may be challenging because your spine may be what I like to call glued together, right? So I'm just going up the spine, one vertebrae at a time, and I'm actually going real fast paced here. So I would finish here in this position, and once I'm in this position, I actually like to breathe. So breathe out, breathe back in through my nose into the belly. And then slowly come back down one vertebrae at a time. So now I'm extending, and like I said, I'm doing this a lot faster. And so that was like one rep while I'm talking. Imagine that it could take you 3 to 4 minutes to go into flexion and then back into extension of the spine, one vertebrae at a time. It's worth, I promise you, for spine health, this is amazing. It's worth doing. Now, you could, like I said, if you're a little more crunched on time, you could go a little bit faster paced here and just, still roll and really think about getting every vertebrae and then coming back into that extended position, okay? And you can do, like I said, if you're gonna go a little bit faster, you can go for 6 reps. If you're gonna go slower, maybe just 1 or 2, depending on the amount of time that you have. But I promise you, it's worth it doing it slower for less reps, really thinking about each vertebrae coming out and coming back in. So that's gonna be our first drill. Our number 2, we're gonna sit back on our butt. Hands are gonna be in front, okay? And we're going to thread the needle through that little triangle, try to bring that shoulder down to the ground, and then I'm going to put my hand behind my back and open up that shoulder to the ceiling and look up and come back down. We're gonna do that for 6 reps. Go to the other side. So we're locking our low back in so it can't rotate, and we're getting all that rotation from that upper back. And it might not be a lot. It might not be a lot. So just remember that. We're gonna go 6 per side. When I rotate, try to breathe out. Okay, now this next part is, some people call it the greatest stretch in the world. We're actually gonna add a bunch of more stuff to it. You're gonna need a little bit of space, not a lot. You can do this in your room. So I'm gonna grab my knee. So if you look at me from the side, I'm gonna have a really tall body here. I'm gonna pull my knee up and I'm gonna get on my toe as I drive up, and then I'm gonna drop down into that lunge. And what we like to call elbow to instep. So elbow, try to get it down as low as you can, keep that chest tall, right? Now, once I'm in this position and I'm getting this big stretch, okay, I'm gonna bring my arm out, I'm gonna reach and rotate, like look at my hand, you see you guys do this quite a few times, and come back in, hands down, and now I'm gonna push away and get a big hamstring stretch here, okay? Come back down and come back out of it. And we're gonna repeat on the other side. So notice, I'm gonna get that knee, try to separate the hips here, hip separation, drop down, elbow to instep, okay? As low as I can, keeping that chest tall. Wherever you may be, you might be a lot higher, tighter hips, that's okay. I'm gonna do a reach, around, and dropping back down, outside, hamstring stretch, and come back out of it. So we do that 6 per side. Okay, we do that 6 per side. From there, we're gonna go to our shin box. Remember, our shin box position is when we bring our feet in, like this, then heel to butt, heel into the groin area. I'm gonna be really nice and tall, very important, right? Don't be slouch. Think like somebody pulling you by a string, extending your spine here. And a couple things. We're gonna start off by keeping the core engaged, driving up, pushing our knees into the ground, and slowly, notice how slow I do this. I don't wanna have momentum, right? I wanna slowly drive myself out of this, squeeze my butt, bring my arms out, and control down. Notice how tall I am, right? I'm controlling it with my hips. Control, 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 control. And now I'm gonna switch so I can do it without hands, which is harder, right? Shin box switch, or you can do it with support. Hands back, switch those hips, bam, right? But I'm gonna do it again here, and I do the same thing. Slowly getting up, arms out in front of me, controlling down, slow, 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 slow. Okay, we're gonna do that 6 per side. Okay, and then the last part of this is gonna be a quadruped hip circle. So back to that position where we started with the cat camel, we're now going to keep this is what's really important, right? I'm gonna push the ground away here, keep my abs engaged, and from here I'm going to bring this leg up. This is the fire hydrant, right? And we wanna look at the knee and ankle being aligned. So be careful and wary that you're not doing this or this, so they're nice and aligned. My hips are not rotating. So I'm sorry, my low back is not rotating. Now from here, I'm going to internally rotate as much as I can. Slowly bring it around to this position, and then drive back in, and repeat. Up, can't go anymore. Rotate, okay, can't go anymore. Slowly bring it around, and in. And I would do that at a slow tempo, probably even slower than I'm doing it right now, for 6 repetitions. Okay, once again, to make this simple, we have reps for exercises, but how long you're doing it, put a timer on, right? You got 12 minutes, do it for 12 minutes. You got 10, do it for 10. You got 6, hey, do it for 6, right? Doesn't matter. It's better to do it for 6 than not do it at all, but do it daily. Do this daily. That's where the big difference happens, is like, do this stuff, like the sequence of the flows that we're showing you guys, do it for 30 days, and then let us know how you feel. All right, that's mobility flow sequence number 2.